everywhere, GBS.
And a very good morning to you, and thank you very much for joining us on GBS Morning Extra this morning. My name is Timothy Omondi, and you're right on time for our news recap this morning. And lined up today for you, we have got some political stories that we would like to discuss. Remember, during the weekend, or earlier in the weekend, the president raised the issue of dynasties in Kenya and also called to an end to the commemoration of the first president of Kenya, or the founding father, Jomo Kenyatta's memorial, which he said they will do as a family but not as a national event anymore. And they will celebrate it in their own way that they know how. But to start us off this morning, President Uhuru Kenyatta and First Lady Margaret Kenyatta were among the first Kenyans to be enumerated in the 2019 National Population and Housing Census exercise that kicked off on Saturday evening. The president, who was joined by former First Lady Mama Ngina Kenyatta and several of his family members, was enumerated at his Nairobi home. In a brief address to the nation after the enumeration exercise, President reiterated his earlier call to Kenyans to participate in the national exercise so as to provide the government with appropriate data for purposes of planning national development programs.
It's finally here. This is the D-Day and that we've been waiting for and preparing for the last 3 years. The exercise has taken off in every part, in every enumeration area of this country, and so far we are registering good progress. We have not had any major hitch anywhere. Security is tight, up to date. Machines are working properly. All the necessary equipments are on site, and the personnel are busy visiting various homes in the various parts of the country.
I have formally gone through the process, and we have completed that exercise with my family. Mine is once again to reiterate to all my fellow Kenyans that this is an important exercise. This is an exercise that is geared towards helping us plan for your future. It is an exercise that is geared towards helping us better utilize your taxes to ensure that they get to the people. And you can't do that, and you cannot plan if you do not have the right statistics. So fellow Kenyans, this is a good time for all of us to come out to support this exercise. I can assure you it is painless. I've gone through it. Some of the questions or the questionnaire may be long, but none of the questions are irrelevant. They are all relevant. They are all necessary towards enabling your national government, towards enabling your county governments to be able to plan in a manner that has maximum effect and impact on your respective lives. I want to take this opportunity to once again assure you that as a government, we are going to do everything in our power to ensure that the exercise is conducted smoothly, to ensure that there is adequate security everywhere, so that we can conclude this exercise peacefully. We can conclude this exercise without incident.
19 census, former President Daniel Arap Moi is among Kenyans who were counted. Moi was counted in his Kabarak home in Nakuru County as the 2019 census kicked off on Saturday. Mzee Moi, who was elated by his participation in the enumeration, is in an exercise led by Nakuru County Commissioner Erastus Mbui. Well, we move on now to other matters. The government spokesman, Cyrus Oguna, has assured Kenyans that the exercise is ongoing well. Oguna, however, earlier addressed the media on the 6 data capture kits reported to have malfunctioned on Saturday night when the national census got underway, and say that the gadgets have been replaced.
We are aware that many Kenyans have been counted, but at the same time, we also understand that not everyone has been counted for obvious reasons. They could not be able to reach every one of us on day one. So in case you have not been counted, ladies and gentlemen, don't have to panic. This exercise is going on until the 31st, so there is ample time for you to be counted. If by the 31st you'll not have been counted, we gave out the toll-free line that you're supposed to call and be able to indicate that you've not been counted, and arrangements will be made to have you counted. Additionally, you also can contact your area chief or sub-chief and let him know or her know that you've not been counted, and arrangements will be made so that you can be counted.
Now to a rather unfortunate event that happened in Kisumu, still on the census. A female census enumerator was gang raped in Kisumu County. According to the Nyanza police boss, Vincent Makoha, the men who were hiding in a bush at night pounced on the woman who had just been dropped off by her supervisor at her house after the end of the exercise at about 1:30 a.m. Sunday.
It was a gang rape of 3 people who attacked her. She was involved in a census activity that started yesterday, and we have been able to manage all her bruises and the conditions she came with.
Well, moving on now. Okay, we move on now to the Rift Valley County, where the Elgeyo Marakwet Senate and Majority Leader Kipchumba Murkomen has also urged Kenyans to participate in the ongoing census. Murkomen says that this is crucial in aiding the government to plan and make key policy decisions to spur growth in the country.
Mambo hii ya census si kwa minajili ya serikali ama waziri ama nani. Ni kwa faida yako mwenyewe na jamii yako na watoto yako na watoto wa watoto wako. Kuna pesa ile tunagawa kwa ma-counties under County Allocation of Revenue Bill. Pesa nyingi inagawiwa kulingana, 60% ya hiyo pesa inagawiwa kulingana nyinyi ni wangapi. Mambo ya representation inategemea mambo ya census. Ndio tupate ward itakuwa itaitwa Kamarinji ward, ama itakuwa inaitwa Morning ward, ama itakuwa inaitwa which ward. Hiyo ward itategemea nambari ya watu. Ile revision inakuja ya wards ikipofika, watakuja kuona watu ni wangapi kwa sehemu gani. Ile revision ya constituency watakuja kuona constituency ngapi itawekwa kwa county gani kwa sababu ya watu wamezaliwa wangapi.
Still on matters census, the Nyandarua Governor Francis Kimemia has called upon all residents of Nyandarua dwelling in other counties to come back home and be counted in the ongoing census. Speaking in his Mirangine home in Nyandarua County after being counted, Kimemia asked those not in their proper counties to go back and be counted for proper planning. He also decried or regretted that allocation for his county were less compared to the number of occupants, noting that the county had more than the said 700,000.
County tumeuliza wananchi wetu wote watokee waje wahesabiwe katika kaunti yetu. Umeona questionnaire ambao inauliza maswali mingi sana. Maswali ya uchumi, maswali ya elimu, maswali ya ile mambo ambao wananchi wanafanya occupation, ile ambao wanafanya mambo ya umri, mali watu wanatoka, mambo ya stima, mambo ya maji, mambo ya resources zetu vile ziko. Kwa hivyo ni database ambayo itasaidia sana hasa kwa mambo ya uchumi, mambo ya kupanga uchumi wetu mpaka kijiji, mpaka vijiji ambazo tuko nazo katika kaunti yetu. Tunaambiwa kwamba na wana uchumi ya kwamba msipopanga vizuri mnapanga kuanguka.
Well, away from census matters now to some political issues. The former Prime Minister Raila Odinga has ruled out direct nomination for the ODM candidate in the November 7th Kibera by-election exercise. Raila said that the party will conduct its primaries on the 31st of August and that all candidates interested should hit the ballot. Well, that was the event there where the brother to the late Kibera, Member of Parliament Okoth, was being heckled by the crowds. Now, moving on, across the, well, still in the country, but in another horrifying story that happened during the weekend, world 800-meter record holder David Rudisha is recuperating from a car crash that left him nursing minor injuries. Rudisha was driving his V8 Toyota engine when his tire burst near the Kegogi area along the Keroka-Sotik highway, colliding head-on with an Easy Coach bus. The 10:30 p.m. Saturday incident occurred at a notorious hotspot along the Kisii-Kiruka highway. Stephen Ole Marai, the Rudisha's friend and neighbor, said that the athlete is out of danger and that he was treated at a hospital in Keroka and he was later released where he sought further treatment in Kilgoris Sub-County Hospital. Mr. Rudisha hails from Kilgoris in Narok County. From that, we now look at international news where the US President Donald Trump hailed UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson as the right person or the right man to deliver the Brexit as the pair met in Biarritz for the first time since the latter became Prime Minister. The long-anticipated meeting of the two leaders at the G7 summit saw Trump lavish praise on Johnson, who he said did not need his advice on how to successfully take Britain out of the European Union.
I think it was fantastic.
It was fantastic. We covered three subjects. Actually. We were meant to cover 10 subjects, but in the end we did 3.
3 that we'll talk about.
We did 3 in detail.
Yeah.
Mr. President, do you have any advice from Boris Johnson on Brexit?
He needs no advice. He's the right man for the job.
That's
I've been saying that for a long time. Didn't make your predecessor very happy, but I've been saying it for a long time. He's the right man for the job.
You're on message there. And I'm grateful. I'm very grateful for that. And we're looking forward to having some pretty comprehensive talks about how to take forward the relationship in all sorts of ways, particularly on trade.
That's right.
And we're very excited about that.
We're having very good trade talks between UK and ourselves. We're going to do a very big trade deal, bigger than we've ever had with the UK, and now they won't have at some point, they won't have the obstacle of, they won't have the anchor around their ankle, because that's what they had. So we're going to have some very good trade talks.
And talking of the anchor, Donald, what we want is for our ships to be able to take freight, say from New York to Boston, which at the moment they can't do. So we want cabotage.
Many things we're talking about.
That would be a good.
How fast do you think you'll be able to make a trade deal? Pretty
quickly. We don't anticipate any problems. Before we were sort of stymied. Well, I was stymied by the other side because nothing got done on the other side, as you've seen for Brexit. This is a different person, and this is a person that's going to be a great prime minister, in my opinion. Boris, it's only my opinion.
No, look, I'm not gonna dissent. I'm not gonna discourage you from that, Donald. But obviously, I have memories of American trade negotiations in the past, and I have a formidable respect for U.S. trade negotiations. And I know that there'll be some tough talks ahead, because at the moment, you know, we still don't. I don't think we sell a single joint of British lamb to the United States. We don't sell any beef. We don't.
Thank you very much, everybody. Having a very good meeting.
Still on the same meeting, as the two leaders discuss how they are going to make trade between the two countries better, President Donald Trump has vowed to continue the trade war between his country and China during the meeting with Britain Prime Minister Boris Johnson on the sidelines of the G7 summit.
Mr. President, do you think that you will invite Putin to next year's G7, sir?
That I don't know. We did discuss it. We had a very good discussion on Russia and President Putin, and lively discussion, but really a good one. And
it was lively.
It's certainly possible. It's certainly possible. We'll see.
Mr. President, are your allies pressuring you to give up the trade war with China?
No, not at all. I haven't heard that. I think they respect the trade war. It has to happen. China's been, I can only speak for the United States. I can't say what they've been doing to the UK and to other places, but from the standpoint of the United States, what they've done is outrageous, that presidents and administrations allowed them to get away with taking hundreds of billions of dollars out every year, putting it into China. So the answer is, nobody's told me that. Nobody would tell me that.
Mr. President, any second thoughts on escalating the trade war with China?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Second thoughts?
Might as well. Might as well.
You have second thoughts about escalating the war
I
with
have
China?
second thoughts about everything.
Are you going to declare a national emergency on China?
Well, I have the right to, if I want. I could declare a national emergency. I think when they steal and take out and intellectual property theft, anywhere from $300 billion to $500 billion a year, and when we have a total loss of almost $1 trillion a year, for many years this has been going on. In many ways, it's an emergency. I have no plan right now. Actually, we're getting along very well with China right now. We're talking. I think they want to make a deal much more than I do. We're getting a lot of money in tariffs. It's coming in by the billions. We never got 10 cents from China. So we'll see what happens, but we are talking to China very seriously.
Are you concerned about how the market has reacted to the
No, the market's doing great. Our country's doing great. Everybody was telling me yesterday, people are trying to copy the formula. We cut taxes way down. We got rid of regulations, large numbers, more than any president's ever gotten rid of. And we're doing very well. Our country's doing fantastically well. I mean, you people want a recession because you think maybe that's the way to get Trump out. Maybe that's the way we get him out. But I don't even think that would work because, look, if there's anything, it's, you know, we've got to go into trade negotiations to get it right. But ultimately, it'll be many times what it was before. Our country is doing really well. We have horrible trade deals, and I'm straightening them out. The biggest one by far is China.
Yeah. Look, I just want to say I congratulate the.
Well, still on the sidelines of the G7 summit, the EU has responded fiercely to US President Donald Trump's threats of trade tariffs, claiming that it will protect bloc member states from the economic belligerence with, and I quote, genuine determination, end of quote.
Trade deals and the reform of WTO are better than trade wars. Trade wars will lead to recession, while trade deals will boost the economy. Not to mention the fact that trade wars among G7 members will lead to eroding the already weakened trust among us.
Yeah, hi, John Chalmers from Reuters. So over the last 24 hours or so, we've seen an escalation of the tariff impositions between China and the United States. Are you concerned that we're now seeing an escalation of a trade war which could become global?
It's, I can only guess what is the real intention of the main actors of this conflict. I can agree with some politicians and also commentators that, of course, China is the biggest challenge for all of us, for many reasons. At the same time, what we need and I'm talking about the global context. What we need is rather a cooperation than conflicts. For me, it's absolutely clear that if someone, for example, the United States and President Trump, use tariffs and taxation as a political instrument, tool for some different political reasons, it means that this confrontation can be really risky for the whole world, including the EU. This is why we need G7, and this is why we need our really frank and open discussion also about the intentions. And I hope that we will be wiser after.
Well, both countries are in the the G7 summit in France this time. That's China and the US. And let's hope and see what turns out during the event and how all will go. For now, we take a short break. GBS Morning Extra will be right back. My colleague Kevin Nyariki is standing by with the sports news for the day. Let's take a break for now.